Всем привет, дорогие друзья, с вами Харли. И я продолжаю проходить игру Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Эпизод 7.
It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
Такая вот грустная история. Так, не самое удачное ограбление поезда. Так.
I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
А вы входили в эту огромную толпу пинкертонов? Нет, парень, этот бродячий цирк меня бы только замедлил. Кроме того, я хотел самолично разобраться с Брайантом.
I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being
Аж на
transported
уровень.
to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right.
О, офигеть. Так.
They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above. So I had no choice but to make my way up through the passenger cars dangling down.
Это и есть не самое удачное ограбление поезда.
I was determined to make that some bitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
Все-таки красивая игра, знаете, ребят. Хоть и графика рисованная, но игра все-таки красивая.
I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
Так, обрезанная винтовка. Не, я в той серии пробовал, то есть, стрелять с обрезанной винтовкой, она мне, знаете, как-то не понравилась. Поэтому не будем брать ее.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of
Так,
there.
ну-ка. Ладно. Блин. А нам, значит, не туда надо идти. Так, а куда нам, значит, надо идти? Туда, что ли? Ух ты, ё-моё.
I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way.
Блин, надо было вышибить, чтобы как бы эпично было.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall.
Так,
There were no passengers aboard.
давайте сейчас
that
вышибем.
day.
Опа.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to
Так,
worry about
опять новый
falling
уровень.
to my death.
Так, алчность. Так, что у нас? Давайте все-таки вот эти до конца прокачаем. Так,
Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
о, давайте дробовиками.
At times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Фу, охренеть.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a hand.
You mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that? Take cover! Retreat! Retreat! He's killing everybody! You ain't seen the likes of me. They'll kill us all! Shoot him for Christ's sake!
Блин, а. Надо было его все-таки рукопашку, мне кажется. Ой, блин.
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Only a few stragglers were
О,
left. I had
вот
to
сейчас
cut
классно.
down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail. Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean.
О,
And
дуэль.
Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that. On
С
that
одного
very
раза
same
офигеть.
day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
С одного раза и это вообще классно.
They ended up living down there for
Они осели
many
там и
years,
спокойно
but
жили
I'm
много
sure
лет.
you
Но я
already
уверен,
know all
вы и
about
без
that.
меня все это знаете. Короче, ребят, такая вот миссия прикольная. Ставьте лайк, подписывайтесь на канал. Ждите нового продолжения прохождения. Всем пока.